Swindon Town head into tomorrow's home game with Walsall, still in with a good chance of automatic promotion to the Championship. They're fifth in the table, but only 3 points off second place. It's quite a transformation for the club, which just over 2 years ago was in major financial difficulty. Here's Alistair Durden.
Unhappy fans and debts of over £5 million. This was October 2007. But the arrival of Andrew Fitton's consortium 3 months later signalled the change, and the club is now on a sound financial footing. His first managerial appointment may have failed to make the same impact, but the arrival of Danny Wilson in December 2008 has seen Swindon blossom.
We always felt from day one that, we'd not necessarily be here so quickly, but we wanted to be here, or in this area, at least challenging. These last few months, they've really cemented in our thoughts anyway that you can turn this club into a very big club, once again. Whether we can do it quickly or not, we don't know yet, but he's certainly given us good signs and good signals that we can possibly do that.
Wilson has invested wisely and at a minimal cost, bringing in a mix of experienced players and some real bargains. The squad has also been boosted by some clever loan signings, and the manager's got the best out of those he inherited, like striker Billy Painter.
He's turned a relegation team into a promotion team, so what can you say? He's done a really good job.
A lot of the players we already have are championship quality, especially Douglas and Ferry in the midfield. I hope we can keep hold of all the players, obviously for next season, no matter how well we do.
Of course, the club does still need to redevelop the county ground here. The lack of corporate facilities is a real barrier to any real progress. But Swindon Town have ambitious plans. Those might even include a hotel here. And unlike in previous years, there's a real confidence that those ideas might make it beyond the drawing board. Alistair Durden, BBC Points West in Swindon.
Thumped at Colchester last week, then held by Exeter on Tuesday, Swindon's late season wobble continued when Walsall took the lead following a mix-up between David Lucas and Scott Cuthbert. Alex Nichols duly supplied Steve Jones for the opener a minute before the interval. It was one-way traffic in the second half as the Robins looked for a leveller. Billy Painter denied somehow by René Gilmartin, but the Saddlers' keeper was definitely at fault when Swindon equalised on 55 minutes. Young Charlie Austin taking advantage, the 19th goal of a memorable debut season. But a winner wouldn't come, although John Paul McGovern is probably still wondering how Gilmartin clawed this shot away. No wins in 3 for Swindon, hardly automatic promotion form.
Now, Exeter are feeling the relegation drag again. At the other end, Southampton are still winning and still living the playoff dream, just. But Swindon, huff and puff, and they're running out of puff. Have Swindon blown automatic promotion with successive home draws over the week? Running nerves, Steve?
Quite possibly. It's always easier to get there than it is to stay there. And, mix-ups like this certainly don't help. It means they're playing catch-up again in another home match. Goal behind. They've scraped another draw, but it's the wrong time. They haven't won a game for three games. It's the wrong time to be hitting that sort of form.
Charlie Austin poached his 19th of a remarkable campaign, but it looks as if they'll need to win at Millwall on the final day now.
Swindon Town had one ear on events up at Hartlepool. A better result than Colchester would make sure of a playoff spot for them. But it was Walsall who created the early chances. 18 minutes in, Clayton MacDonald forced a fine save from David Lucas. And a minute before the break, it was Walsall who took the lead. Confusion between Lucas and Scott Cuthbert. Cuthbert hesitated. Alex Nichols pressured him and set up Steve Jones for the goal. It was Jones's first goal in 12 games and his 9th of the season, and 1-0 at half-time. 10 minutes after the break, and Swindon were creating chances once more. Charlie Austin into the danger area, putting the crossover. Billy Painter forcing a fine save from René Gilmartin. And from the corner, everybody missed it. Cuthbert dinked it back in. Charlie Austin with the vital touch, as so often. This was his 19th goal of the season. Swindon now pressed for the winner. Clearance from MacDonald only as far as JP McGovern, and a fine save from Gilmartin. But it still might have turned to dust for Swindon. Gordon Greer caught in possession. Nichols with the shot just wide. But Swindon remain fourth, and at the very least they'll be in the playoffs.
Swindon hosted the third military day of the season at the county ground, with all money raised assisting the armed forces charities, including Help for Heroes. Once the game got underway, it was Walsall who created the first real chance. Clayton MacDonald brought the best out of David Lucas. The promotion-chasing Robins replied with Danny Ward's deflected effort, which was well saved by Irishman René Jean-Martin. Swindon had claimed just 1 point from their previous 2 games, and their late-season wobble continued as a mix-up between Lucas and Scott Cuthbert gifted Walsall the opening goal a minute before half-time. Steve Jones put the Saddlers ahead. Swindon pressed for an equaliser after the break. Here Billy Painter was denied by Jean-Martin's instinctive save. But the Walsall keeper was beaten on 55 minutes. Young Charlie Austin supplied a close-range finish to score his 19th goal of a memorable debut season in the Football League. Jean-Paul McGovern then sent a free kick narrowly wide as the Robins looked for the all-important winner. But it wouldn't come for the host. McGovern is probably still wondering how Jean-Martin clawed his volley away there. Swindon were forced to settle for a point. However, it could have been worse for Danny Wilson's men. Alex Nichols snatched at a late chance and it finished all square. So it's no wins in 3 for Swindon, but they ended this game still only 2 points behind second-place Leeds.
I thought we were good value for a point. I thought it was excellent today, and we knew it would be difficult. And we created some very good chances. So we knew it would be hard fought. They're a good side. We want to get it and pass it, and we tried to push our 2 strikers up against their central defenders and push our wide men a little bit higher so they couldn't play from the back. And I thought we nullified that to a certain extent. And we were good going forward as well. So all in all, it was a very, very hard fought point, but one that I thought we thoroughly deserved.
Swindon are wobbling at the prospect of automatic promotion, but thankfully so are their rivals. Town gifted Walsall's Steve Jones the opening goal, but hit back through Charlie Austin's 19th goal of the season. And with Leeds, Millwall and Charlton all losing, it wasn't a bad weekend.
The iPlayer. There are highlights of your club on BBC Sport Online, and there's a regional roundup in late kick-off tonight. That's on BBC One at midnight.